I remember when I sat down to write my first play. I asked Jesus, will you co-write with me? And he said yes. And I told Jesus, I want to write plays for women. What do women want to see? And Jesus said, sexy men. Since that day, I've searched the world for the sexiest black men alive. And I found them, my shirtless men. And Jesus was pleased.
I didn't know religion worked like that.
Then I asked Jesus, how can I further spread your message on earth? And he said, cross-dressing. And so I put on a dress and a wig, and Jesus was pleased. With that dress, that wig, and these beautiful muscular gifts from God, I have built an empire, and soon I will crush Ice Cube, and my supremacy of Black Hollywood will be complete.
It's about the love change. Do it with some soul and a little love change. Yeah, it's about the love change. Do it with some soul and a little love change. You can't make a change unless you got the love change. Do it with some soul and a little love change. You can't make a change unless you got some love change. Do it with some soul and a little love change. We started from the bottom, talking about the roots. Every time I'm in the
Hiya, fam. Welcome back to the Boondocks Podcast, in which today we are discussing Season 3, Episode 8, Pause, in which Granddad is cast as the leading man by mega superstar of stage and screen, Winston Jerome. But when the theater group turns out to be a homoerotic evangelical cult, it's up to Huey and Riley to put a pause to it. But before that, y'all, you already know how you living.
What's up? What's up? How's everybody doing?
All right.
Well, we've got a guest here since our Queen Tiara is out for this episode and next. Welcome to Demond from the Demond Does and Disputed podcast. How are you, Demond?
I am well. Thanks for having me once again. I appreciate it. It's awesome.
And I know you got some other podcasts. Why don't you give us all your where you're at?
Okay. All right. So I have Demond Does, which I do, which I ask everybody the same 6 questions, because the same 6 questions can tell a unique story. And I have a new episode dropping as we tape this tomorrow, which will have been last Wednesday, with Nathan Flynn from Mission Impossible. And still working on figuring something out with a Different World pod. Then there is Disputed, which I co-host with a gentleman by the name of Dean. Dean,
Hey, that's me.
That would be you.
Some white dude. I heard.
some white cat.
And I started a new one. Well, I didn't start it, actually. I'm more of a producer and Black Ed McMahon for in the Stack, which is a library podcast. Which is a library podcast based locally here in Jeffersonville, where we talk about different things going on at the library and do interviews and stuff like that. And that's been a really cool experience as well. So, nice. And since I've been doing AKAs on Dispute, I figured I'd throw one in here, AKA Cousin Demond of the WOOD clan, man.
Hey, I like that. I was about to say, cousins visiting. You know how your cousins come and visit for the summer?
Yeah.
And they come spend the night. That's exactly what it is when Demond comes and visits.
I feel like, what was the dude's name on Home Improvement? The guy
Wilson.
who...
Wilson.
Yeah, I feel like Wilson. Like I'm standing on a step stool looking over the fence most of the time, and then every now and then I get to come over and play. So.
Yep. Can he come over and play? I guess. Tell him he has to go home by dinner, though.
I don't eat much.
We love having you.
Yeah, hell yeah.
And it's not a sports episode this time. Okay.
But I do have the Seattle Kraken and the Las Vegas whatever they are, the Knights of whatever.
Yeah, it's nice.
So yeah, first period just ended there. The Kraken are behind.
Oh,
0.
hockey season has started, I guess.
Yep. inaugural season. I even got my. Yeah, actually, I got it right. Do I have it back here? No, I don't.
This makes great audio, by the way.
I got the inaugural season custom jersey from the Seattle Kraken.
Nice.
What is that? Hockey?
Yeah.
Okay.
So yeah,
Congrats.
we haven't had a NHL team here in like 50 years,
Wow.
which is
Oh,
kind of
we
odd.
don't
I
have
mean,
one here.
because we had the Supersonics, which you never think of Seattle as being
Supersonics.
a basketball town, which is why it's not anymore. They left
Right.
for
Yeah.
Oklahoma.
They told you guys you weren't. They were like, we are going. You
Yeah.
are not. You are no longer.
Seattle
Don't know
is
how you
not
made
a
it.
basketball city. It's
Hey, they have some good players.
Oklahoma
Wasn't
City
Sean Kemp
now.
on them?
Brutal.
Wasn't they?
Brutal.
I said they
man.
had some good players. Wasn't like Sean Kemp
I don't
on
know.
there?
I don't
They,
watch basketball.
Oh, GP. GP.
Gary
are
Payton,
you
yeah.
with me?
They went to the championship one year and lost to the Jordan Bulls. It was one of those. It was they were,
The Jordan Bulls.
The Jordan Bull.
I like that. I like that. That'd probably make his day if you ever heard that. He'd be like, yeah, damn right, with his hoop earring. I can't stand it. He still wears hoop earrings. Fucking 2021. I can't stand that. I can't. Yeah.
I'm going to start doing that now. Big ass hoop
I
earrings.
like you. I like you. Okay. Don't become a wahite.
But with them big ass hoop earrings from back in the 70s.
Bamboo? Like LL Cool J rapped about? Bamboo
we call
earring?
him a wahite.
Yeah, so that's what we call. That's what we say. And you say what about white people? We're like the wahites, and they are so confused. They have no idea what we're talking about. So we're like, no, that's the wahite thing. We were talking about serial killers and like how you could how a few have been. There's been 3 that they found at the resort that we go to. The most famous one, Carrie Stainer. He's the guy that killed the mom, the daughter, and the friend who were in Yosemite probably about 10, 15 years ago. And his brother was the one from, we talked about this a few episodes ago, from I Know My Name is Steven.
Yeah.
He was kidnapped many years ago. Well, that's his older brother. And he was a handyman that worked at Yosemite. And he killed these ladies. And he was at the resort where we are, which is at least 3 hours away from Yosemite. And somebody recognized him and called the police, and the police was like, keep him there. So he was there it was one of his favorite places to have lunch. I don't know how a place 3 hours away from you is your favorite place to have lunch, but they just started giving him extra meals and doing all this. And then that's where he was actually caught. So I found this out, Lynxi, on Mr. Ballin. I totally watching it one night. Yeah. 2:00 in the morning watching it. And all of a sudden there's the moniker, at the out front of the resort. And I was like, holy shit. And hubby was sleeping and I wanted to wake him up, but I knew he had to get up in 4 hours. So I just waited till he got up all night. He woke up at 6:30. I was like, babe, look at this. And I immediately turned it off. I didn't sleep all night. But yeah, so we were telling somebody this the other day and she was like, oh my God. And she just completely, she lost it. Like we should have told her that we didn't know that she was one of these people. So she ended up saying something. And I was like, a hubby, I was like, that's that wahite. And she, she didn't know. She had no idea. But yeah. So if I say that, yeah.
Totally
Respectfully.
Totally stealing it.
Stupid wahite people questions.
Yes. Yes. Should start calling it that. Right? Especially when he's like, you mean I got to stay like this? Like that is perfect.
I'm going to stay this color.
Oh, yeah. I love that. You're going to make me watch that movie. I've been looking for it. I can't find it though. Like on any of the platforms. You think you'd be able to find it?
I'll find that shit.
I know you will. But yeah, so I hope everybody's having a good week. A good short week because of Columbus Day.
Yeah, it looks like you'd have to rent it anywhere.
Yeah. Which, hey, that means they're still making money. Go ahead.
Yeah.
Go ahead. I want to make my movie.
That's probably that's my top Steve Martin movie, followed by Dead Men Don't Wear Plaid, which is hilarious and great. It's done all in black and white. It's done as a noir film, and they take pieces from other The Big Sleep and Casablanca and all those, and they mix it in. So like he's actually talking to Humphrey Bogart or Betty Davis, and it's really well done. And then of course, Three Amigos.
That's the movie. Did you know they did not get along?
That's a surprising. Chevy Chase is a piece of shit. So
yeah. Okay, let me reword this. Nobody got along with Chevy Chase.
Yeah, right.
I just found out recently. Yeah.
Well, yeah, because Steve Martin and Martin Short still work together. So.
Yeah. I love it. Just ruins any vacation movie for me because I feel like he is, Clark Griswold through and through.
Yeah, he's really good at acting.
Yeah, he'd probably be an asshole to me because I would totally like go up to him with one of the lines from the movie or something like that. One of my all-time favorite movies is anything vacation. Vegas Vacation is probably my favorite. Then the Wally World one, the very first one is probably my second. But love those movies. So that kind of hurt my heart. I was like, oh. But then I started seeing more stuff, like how he banned people from SNL and all this other shit because he's such an ass.
Oh, yeah.
Like when he was on there. Yeah.
And he had left for when he was on Community, he had left for Dan Harmon, the creator. He had left some really shitty voicemails, and Harmon released them.
Oh.
He was like, "Fuck you, Chevy Chase." But he actually came out later and apologized because he was in a really bad place at that time. So Dan Harmon also produces Rick and Morty now.
Oh, okay.
So he's great with comedy, and Community was an amazing show. But yeah, not many people got along with Chevy on there. And
no.
Yeah, his opinion, Chevy's opinion of himself is really high. So yeah.
Come on, you're not that great of an actor.
Right.
You could stay comedian, like you're a comedic actor, but dude, come on, stop. Stop. Say that you have a long career. Say that, yes, you were on, the beginning of SNL and, you have some things on your resume. But other than that, have you ever won an award? Have you ever done anything that would then cement you as this great freaking actor or comedic actor? No, You have not. Calm down, Mr. Chase.
He was one of the first. He was one of the first ones to be women aren't funny. So yeah,
yes, he did. He talked about Gilner Radner and yeah. Yep. Yeah. I remember that.
Lorraine
YouTube
Newman.
teaches you a lot of stuff. I learned that on YouTube thanks to the Mojo channel. But yeah, he was saying that women on SNL shouldn't have, like at the beginning, they shouldn't be listed as, given credit. So they shouldn't, at the beginning, you shouldn't say guest starring or starring, blah, 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 blah.
Right.
Yeah. Because they weren't as funny. They were just like basically, part of the scenery.
Yeah. That's and he wasn't the only one. I mean, I think Bill Murray was kind of in that camp as well.
Don't ruin Bill Murray for me too.
There's a lot of stuff that Bill Murray has done. I think he's trying to repair some of that recently, but there's some stuff that's even physical abuse with his wife that has been reported, things like that. So
he kind of looks like it. You think about him, like how he kind of like he keeps that whole bald-headed thing, and like, he kind of keeps that going. Like I don't know. I see it. I'm not too surprised.
Yeah,
that does kind of ruin Scrooge for me.
And I love Scrooge. Aside from Die Hard, Scrooged is the one Christmas the other Christmas movie that I watched. And yes, Die Hard.
I was just talking about that the other day.
Die Hard is a great movie. Die Hard
is not a Christmas movie.
It is a Christmas movie.
A Christmas movie.
This is a disputed episode.
That's an undisputed. It can go on with Skip Bayless.
For men, it is. That is not people don't put that on. They put on A Christmas Story.
No, because there is a Santa outfit. There's a Santa outfit. There's a Christmas tree. They play Rocking Around the Christmas Tree. And Merry Christmas is said. Yeah, there's Christmas lights. Yep.
Is that the one where he laughs and pulls the gun off his back?
No, he ties the guy to the chair with
all of them.
And he wrote on the guy's shirt, "Ho ho ho! Now I have the detonators."
Christmas, my bad. Total Christmas.
And he put a Santa hat on the guy that he killed.
All the ways. See, I was totally misinformed. It is a Christmas movie.
Now, had it been done,
My bad.
has it originally planned to be? Because originally the John McClane character, and then I know we're going really off the rails here, was originally cast for Frank Sinatra, but it took them so long because the book was written in the 50s.
Oh my God!
It was based on a book, and it was like late 50s, early 60s, and yeah, it was supposed to be Sinatra had the rights to be, so they actually had to ask him first. and him to decline it before they could ask anybody else.
That's crazy.
So he had rights of first refusal. So yeah.
The more you know with Boondocks episodes that have nothing to do with the episode we're talking about.
All right.
But
speaking of
we
which,
always drop little nuggets like that. I love it.
So do we want to shift gears to the episode, or do we anything else we want to cover?
That's why we're here. I forgot. Yeah,
we're doing that Boondocks thing.
Yes.
Here we are doing that Boondocks thing.
Great episode. I think it was funny. I laughed a few times.
Yeah.
I paused it a few times, rewound it a few times.
Yeah, this there's because and trivia, this is supposed to be based off of Tyler Perry and Medea. So Ma Dukes, Medea. I don't honestly, I mean, I never, again, like I said, prior in our pre show stuff, that I had never seen a Medea movie. And I don't really know much about Tyler Perry. So I will be interested to see how closely, I mean, I want to do some research after this and see how closely any of this matches to anything that Tyler Perry is about.
I mean, I see if he got wind of it and had a little bit of an attitude, because some of it did definitely represent.
Oh yeah.
Him. And what a lot of people thought for a while. I remember when it came out that he had his girlfriend pregnant, or that he had a girlfriend, everybody was like, who? Where?
Damn.
When?
At least a good portion of his movies, there does end up being a dark-skinned black heartthrob with his shirt off with like a 20-pack for no reason at all.
Well, he's an asshole. Like in the movie with Janet Jackson. Why did I get married? Why did I get married, right?
I don't know. I haven't heard of that one.
With Jill Scott?
Yes. Yeah. Her husband was an asshole.
The friend from
The Wood.
The third guy from The Wood. Yeah. Not the two famous ones, but the third one.
You remember The Wood? It was the tall guy. So it was
Tate. They're not Tate.
Yeah, Merlin's not the other one. He's on the show.
Morris Chestnut was in that movie, wasn't he?
No, not Morris Chestnut.
The guy is on the TV show All American, right?
Damn it.
Omar Epps.
Yes.
And
Don't make me call my son. What is his name?
wow.
Then you know what we're talking about. Short. He was in
Tay Diggs. Omar Epps and Tay
Tay
Diggs
Diggs.
were in there, and then there was the third one. That was the tall friend, Slim.
Wasn't Shamar Moore?
No.
Shamar Moore was way out by then.
He was already doing his Criminal Minds thing.
Yeah, you know.
Yeah, but it was Why Did I Get Married?
Yeah, so Why Did I Get Married? So Janet was in it. Jill Scott was in it. And then this other lady that's always been in stuff.
From New York Undercover. The black dude from New York Undercover.
Yeah.
I never watched that one.
It's good. That's a good one. So that definitely watch Why Did I Get Married?
Right.
It doesn't have Medea in it, but that is a Tyler Perry movie. I would say watch.
The Medea one, someone ends up with their shirt off.
Okay.
It's great. Yeah, good movies. But they're definitely, he switches it. Like it'll be the savior of, the man is the, fair skinned one. Then there's a light skinned one. It'll he switches it throughout, movies. It depends. The dark skinned one.
I will stay light skinned for you.
Light skinned, yeah. With no shirt on, and he's a gardener because he got out of jail. I was like, yeah. This episode was funny.
All right, well, let's get into it, shall we? I guess I will be since TR is not here. I will be doing her part of doing the recap. So anyway, we start at the Freeman residence with Granddad and the boys watching a recording of a play. It's a Winston Jerome play, and Huey is curious why they're watching it. Granddad says that he's watching to prepare for an open casting call audition for Winston Jerome's new play. This confuses Huey, as Granddad is not an actor. Granddad says he's been a thespian for a while. Huey thinks Granddad is too old, but Granddad doesn't see any reason why he can't be a sex symbol or a heartthrob. Riley thinks he should do it before it's too late, and it's getting too late as it is. When Granddad says he's going to give him everything he's got, Riley says, pause, and then wants Granddad to say no homo because what he said sounded gay, and if it sounds gay, it is gay. So, but Granddad's not having any of that. From there, we go into a little thing where Huey breaks down the typical Winston Jerome play. It's a beautiful, educated, professional Black woman is in a troubled marriage with a dark-skinned bald guy, usually from Law and Order. She meets a shirtless, light-skinned gardener who just got out of jail, usually played by Shamar Moore. They bond over their love of Jesus. She tries to give her marriage one last chance with the dark-skinned bald guy from Law and Order. But before that, the dark-skinned bald guy tries to hit her. The shirtless, light-skinned gardener saves her, and the woman and the gardener kiss happily ever after. From there, so that's the template for a Winston Jerome story. From there, we see Granddad showing up at the audition, along with a mass of other men, and he's concerned about how many are there for just a play. Kadeem Hardison, who happens to be sitting next to him, tells him that it's more than just a play because it can lead to a movie of the play, which could then lead to a TV series of the movie of the play. Just then, Winston Jerome walks out into the crowd of aspiring actors. As he's walking down, he sees Robert and stops to tell his assistant to have him come back.
Hey, real quick, Dean.
Sure.
Before you go any further,
Yeah.
I want to take offense to something that they did in this scene. Okay, so they introduced Kadeem Hardison, who played himself in the show, right?
Right.
And they said he was from a different world, right?
Yep.
Which is true. However, they should have mentioned the greatest part that he has played in his whole career, and that was Rubber Band Man in the cartoon Static Shock. Carry on.
When did that come out?
It was I want to say it was in the early 2000s.
Okay.
It was like 2000 to 2004. It was actually a really good show.
So it was before this episode then.
Yeah.
I thought you were going to say School Days or his role as father in Zendaya's show.
No, I wanted to be as
Casey Undercover. Casey Undercover is, let me tell you, I can sit up and watch Casey Undercover with my kids or without them and laugh my ass off.
Right on.
But Zendaya is like, oh my God, if I had a daughter, I'd be like, I want her to be her. She's like everything. But yeah, I agree with you. Kadeem Hardison's whole part should have been a much larger resume, is what Pop should have said. But yeah, and he could have called him, Dwayne. Like he could have said that.
Well, it's probably that's Granddad's watching that because it's got young, beautiful women on it, and that's his goal in life.
He probably wanted Whitley. He probably should have said Whitley, Jasmine Guy when he, But yeah,
light skinned. I can hear him now.
There were so many things in this that I wanted to quote and say, but it was just so many, so many points of what really happens in Black culture. So the light skinned thing was always a big thing.
It's very meta.
Yes. Yeah. Or how the one character kept referring to the Kool-Aid.
Yeah.
Drinking the Kool-Aid. It was more than just Black people drinking Kool-Aid. It was a double kind of entendre with that.
The other part of that is they're talking about they're in a cult. And so that which leads to the Jonestown stuff. So
yeah. Which we just watched as well. It was on a Mr. Ballin episode. I love him so much. I love him way too much. Amazing. But yes, go ahead. Sorry.
All right. So Robert comes back to the audition room. Robert is standing there shirtless in front of everyone. Winston explains that this play will be called Ma Dukes Finds Herself a Man. He wants Robert to repeat a line, but first...
Wait. Something's off. Lotion! What flavor you want, man? I got tropical peach, sunrise orange, minty mango, and apricot. Or I can just take two flavors and swirl them together. Just tell me which ones you like. You want me to pick one for you?
Okay.
Minty mango it is. Turn around.
Hey.
You want me to pop these bumps?
No.
All right. You good then.
So, MJ, you had that
I want
clip.
a
Did you
lotion
want to say? By the way, the lotion man, because there was no Uncle Ruckus. There's no Uncle Ruckus in this episode. The lotion man is voiced by Gary Anthony Williams, who voices Uncle Ruckus.
I like that. They utilize you for more than one thing. That's right on.
Well, yeah. Winston Jerome's assistant, voiced by Jill Talley, who is Tom's wife.
I was like, her voice is a little. I mean, it's a little more sultry, but
Yeah.
it sounded familiar. Every time I think of that, I think about the shot of her panties when he was on the ground.
Oh, yeah.
So,
Yep.
I like this just because it was like that was like one of the first obvious signs that Grandpa should have picked up on. And I'm wondering if he did at this point, but he already was so resolved to, this is my shot. I don't care. So it is what it is. But yeah, it makes me
Granddad
wonder
is
if
colorblind to red
yeah.
flags.
Yeah. I just thought it was funny. I was like, I would love a lotion man, especially if he's going to make combinations for you. But
You know,
like I said,
you want to get those bumps?
yeah, that was great. That was great. That would be me because I'm one of those people that like to do that.
No.
Yeah, I'm weird. I know.
Tell me you don't watch Dr. Pimple Popper.
I did until hubby was like, "Please stop watching that."
Not when I'm around, she can't.
So please stop watching that.
Hard no.
I get so excited. I'd be like, "Oh my god, look at that 77-year-old tumor she's about to push out." Like, oh yeah,
Oh.
yeah.
La 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 la. I can't hear you.
Yeah.
That's funny. You guys are all like so cringed right now, so just grossed out.
Yeah,
That's
no,
funny.
no, thank you. Anyway,
But we'll get back to let's get back to
so
That was
now that Robert's lotioned up, he begins to repeat the line, but he gets as far as saying "Ma Dukes," and then Jerome says that it's perfect. He tells him the story of how he came to write his first play with the help of Jesus. This was all in the intro clip. That Jesus told him to find sexy men and to cross-dress to help spread the word. He now has gotten to the point where he just wants to crush Ice Cube and have supremacy over Black Hollywood. Jerome then makes Robert say that he accepts Jesus as his Lord and Savior, and Jerome as Jesus's representative in TV and movie business, and renounce Ice Cube and all his works, including Friday. Once Robert agrees to all of these things, Jerome states that Robert is his new leading man and should come to a fondue shindig at the compound that evening. After that, we go back home. Tom has come over to watch the boys for that evening. Tom is very excited for Robert, wants to know who the leading lady is. Robert dances around the subject until Riley jumps in to say that the leading lady is Ma Dukes. Granddad is upset that the boys read the script, every bit of it. And so, because he said it was top secret. Anyway, Tom is even more proud of Robert for being so dedicated. Riley, of course, thinks it's all gay. From there, that evening, we show Robert showing up to to Jerome's palatial compound, where you can, he's got like a palace there. You can see he's got the movie set and the play set all in the back. I mean, the place is huge. So Jerome's assistant opens the door, welcomes Robert in, and brings him inside. When they enter the big room where they're having the party, Winston Jerome is being lowered from the ceiling, dressed as Ma Dukes, and then goes into a musical piece.
Hello, how do you do? We're so glad you joined our crew. Welcome to our lovely compound, where it all goes down. Hot boiled bananas and cream, white unicorns and wet dreams, rainbow and lace. Oh, it makes me want to stream. Anything is possible with Jesus on our team. Jesus gave me a vision to make plays and dress like women, wear corsets and be a fire women, big bras with a lot of padding in them. In my feminine, I know you have suspicions, but I'm all man. Trust me, we can switch positions.
So, as you may have recognized, that's basically a mix of Sweet Transvestite and the Time Warp from Rocky Horror Picture Show that has been changed to a song about Jerome's vision called It's All Right to Cross-Dress for Christ. MJ?
I love it. It was so funny to me, especially when I was reading the words as watching it. I was like, oh my gosh, there's so many gay references. I'm sorry. And I'm saying that in a bad way, but so many. And they weren't subtle.
No, not at all.
Not at all. But super funny. And it was just the whole Rocky Horror Picture Show. I just saw it for the first time. And I guess you could say its entirety, because I was like, well, I got to take this in bits and pieces, because I was around other people that thought it was their duty to act it out while I was watching. And I was like, no, you don't have to do that. Just let me watch it. But
that's not how that works.
Yeah. But so I just thought it was very funny and interesting. And I wonder, I know that we looked it up, and Dean, you said that Tyler Perry was like, oh, it is what it is. And I was informed about it or whatever. But I wonder if what he thought when he saw that, and if there is anything, I know it's not that extreme, but I wonder if there's anything that is entertaining like that occurs once you get hired. Just
yeah. I mean, there's so many questions that you have about, like the phone thing, and just all the, having to stay at the compound.
Which I believe, because he tapes everything in like 2-3 weeks, less than a month. Like all his movies are literally taped, like they go all day. That's probably why all the ladies' wigs look horrible, because they're like, just go, no cutting for hair and makeup. But they go and they like wrap everything up in a crazy amount of time. I think most movies are filmed on the low end, maybe 3 months, 2 to 3 months. If I'm not mistaken, most of his movies have been filmed and recorded in 2 weeks to, like I said, maybe a month. So
interesting.
Yeah, so I could see that being true. Like him saying, nope, we need to record at 4:30 in the morning, or I need you here, So I could see that.
Yeah. I mean, it's not too far fetched. I mean, I assume that when lots of folks are, when they're doing movies elsewhere, they're staying wherever it is they're shooting the movie. So, I mean, I don't see that that's really any different.
Yeah,
I'm just curious about how drill sergeant like
it is. Yeah.
Jerome is.
And you can have your phone and all that. Yeah.
Right.
Could be. I mean, if you want everybody's focus, maybe.
Yeah. True. Yeah, I would, because I picture, if had this been like an hour-long episode, that like Robert would have had a room, and that Jerome's got cameras in all the rooms, and I mean he obviously had a camera pointing at the stage. So when they were, we'll come up on that in a little bit, but anyway, from here, Granddad is impressed, and he asks if that's in the play. He says, no, we just do that for fun. So anyway, Jerome walks Robert around the compound, telling him that he will be staying there just like the rest of the crew throughout the run of the play. Just then, Robert's phone rings. Jerome is upset, saying that that phones aren't allowed. He makes him answer it and tell the boys that he won't be coming home. From there, the crew assembles on stage to begin their rehearsals. Jerome begins by praying for the production. As he does so, Robert's mind starts to wander, looking at all the women around, thinking about how he's on top, and the big boobs. He's super happy about them, and he's very excited about the whole process. Backstage, Robert runs into one of the crew who says she's been with Jerome for 10 years. Robert mentions that her family must be very proud, but she says she doesn't speak to her family anymore. He then meets another woman who's been in the business for 12 years doing porn. She says that Winston's saved her, while basically she's just not giving it up. She's giving it up to Jesus and his homeboys.
Yeah, I forgot about that one.
While she's walking away, Jerome approaches Robert and asks him to join him in his study. In the study, there's a huge crucifix with Jesus hanging from it, which Jerome has put a sweater on because it looks so cold. Jerome says that he loves Jesus and asks Robert if he does too. He says he does, but when Jerome brings up the security tape of the prayer from earlier, you can see that Robert was looking at boobs of all the women in the cast. Jerome tells him that if women are what Robert wants, Jesus and he will deliver in abundance. But first, Robert must give himself fully to Jesus Christ first, and then to Jerome. At that point, Robert's phone rings again. Jerome is furious. Jerome gives him an ultimatum to choose between his old life and his new one.
Hey, boys. No, everything's good. Look, please don't call me again. This is my family now. Uh-huh. Okay.
You made the right choice, Robert.
I don't get it. They his new family now? It's worse than I thought. Granddad's in a cult. A cult? That's gay. Well, he's in trouble. We gotta save him. Come on.
I think that I chose that one just because Riley thinking a cult was gay just kind of made me laugh. I mean, for some reason, all the random shit that Riley finds gay just cracks me up all the time.
Everything.
Yeah.
Everything. Yeah.
That's gay. That's gay. That's gay. Say no homo. Pause.
I mean, yeah. And I was going to say that's funny because now pause is a thing. Like before it was no homo, but nobody ever said pause, no homo. But now you say pause. Like that's the thing. Like guys don't say, they just say, oh, pause. You know, I didn't mean that or whatever. Like I told my son, I said, put the balls back in there. I meant the meatballs back in the sauce. He was making them. And he was like, pause. But you mean put them on? And I was like, okay, I get it. I get it. So, but yeah, it's just funny that all these years later, now pause is a thing.
That's funny.
You know,
I had never heard until
not.
watching this. I'd never heard of pause as a thing.
Oh yeah, yeah. It's what you say. Now you don't say no homo. Now and I'm sure that's because of we don't use the word and things. We don't say that, but now it's pause. So, and let me tell you, my 10-year-old said it the other day. And it was really good. Whatever he said, it actually, because he doesn't really get it. And so, but he hears his dad, he hears his brother, he hears a basketball team. So he's been waiting for a shot, I think, to say it. And he said what the other day. And we were like, that works. And that boy danced and celebrated for like a good 15 minutes. We were like, that works. That was a good one.
And then said, I still don't get it.
Yeah. And it was like, I still don't get it. Yeah, but he knew it worked. He knew
that's
it worked,
hilarious.
but he just didn't get why. So
you could just see the light bulb come on in his head. Ding! Now's my chance.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, he literally danced. I wish I could show you guys what he was doing. We were like, what are you doing? A hoe dad? Like, it was so funny. It was so funny. He was so proud of himself. He went to his brother. It was great. It was a good day for him.
I got him with a pause. I didn't know what the fuck it meant, but I got him.
Yeah.
All right. Anyway, so back at rehearsal, Robert and Kadeem are running their lines together. Jerome, dressed as Ma Dukes, is giving direction as they are doing so and getting increasingly frustrated. He stops to have a prayer and asks Jesus what he would do, basically. He says that Jesus has informed him that the scene would have more impact if Robert kissed Ma Dukes on the lips. Robert is concerned. At that point, Winston tries to assuage Robert's fears about what's going on.
Jesus said that we need to kiss passionately so the audience can feel our love. Change it in the script.
Praise Jesus' rewrites. Are you sure he didn't say kick? I should kick you? Or maybe kill? Let me kill you. Nobody ever see that coming.
No, he said kiss. Kiss. There was no ambiguity at all. Chapstick. Robert, it's okay. I totally understand your concerns. Winston Jerome would never, ever kiss a man. That would be homosexual and against my Christian faith.
Exactly. Mine too.
But Jesus wants us to be actors first and heterosexual second. Now, Winston Jerome is a very, very straight man that loves the ladies. But Ma Dukes is a woman. And when I go on stage, Jesus wants me to become her, inside and out. Can't just have a woman's clothes. I need a woman's thoughts, a woman's movements, and a woman's desires.
Oh my!
His accent.
So yeah.
Why?
So so MJ, you and I had basically picked parts of that entire thing.
Yeah, I thought it was funny. One, his accent. I don't know why it was so more prevalent to me in this monologue that he had. But I was like, okay, 1, 2, that's another major flag right there. But he had already at this point was like, he resolved to it. So overall, I started thinking really insightfully. I said, how many people, it's very telling now, because there's so many people that will do things that are against what they say their morals or beliefs are for clout or fame. And that's what, and that's what Pop was doing, Grandpop was doing. And it's kind of sad because it's like, in one way, it's like he never gave up, no matter how old he is. He's like, I'm going to do what needs to be done. But then again, it is sad. You're that old and you should know better. But you're still doing what you think needs to be done. Very telling of where we are today as a society and how easy it is to get fame. Once again, doing air quotes, as you guys can see, but the fame or the clout that people think that they want, especially that quick, kind of like you didn't really do any hard work to get it, but they have it, so this social media fame, I'll say.
Yeah.
Reality shows. I mean, if one more Black person that used to have a hit gets on a Mona Scott show and puts their entire business out in the street, like we've been told our entire lives that we don't do, for $7,500, I'm going to fight them. Like, come on. Come on, guys. Because there's always an audience for it, but yet there won't be an audience for it if you stop putting yourself on there. Nobody's like checking for the second girl that was in The Good Girls. And if you guys even know who The Good Girls are, I'll give you props. But
I didn't know what the last thing you said was. So
yes. Oh, you don't know what Love and Hip Hop is? You know what Love and Hip Hop is?
No.
Mona
TV show?
Scott?
I don't know who Mona Scott is.
She discovered Cardi B. Discovered, quote unquote.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
Like Columbus discovered America.
She's the Tyler Perry of VH1 reality TV show.
Look,
Okay.
Mona Scott discovered Cardi B more
yeah.
than Columbus discovered America. So
I don't watch reality shows, so that's
So it's one of the you remember like back in the day, like The Rock of Love and like, when Flavor Flav had a show, like when VHS started doing more reality shows.
Yeah.
So she's in that same realm.
Okay.
But it's past rappers or wannabe rappers or people that tout themselves as rappers or singers or whatever. That come on the show. It's Love and Hip Hop. So it's showing their lives, as they're either still relevant, which most of them are not. And it's just, they get on TV and they act a damn fool to be so old. Like, it's like the Bad Girls Club and Flavor of Love and all that wrapped up in one big, beautiful bow.
Yeah.
But these people are doing it Cardi B is by far the most successful coming out of that show. But for the most of them, you're my age, if not older, acting a damn fool on TV for whatever amount of money you're getting. Like, I'd rather you go drive Uber. I'd rather you go work at Trader Joe's like Alvin from the Cosby Show did. I'd rather you do something like that than, I'm not your family, so do what you do. But I'm just saying, I know that my grandma would be like, girl, what? Didn't we always tell you we don't put our business in the street? So you damn sure shouldn't be on VH1 fighting and acting a fool. And last year you were messing with this person, but now this year you're messing with this person. And, just that type of thing. So it is, like I said, Love and Hip Hop is still relevant, but now you don't need Love and Hip Hop. Now you just go ahead and record yourself on your own Instagram or your own TikTok or your own YouTube channel or whatever. Yeah. Put your business out there, and if it goes viral, people will find out about it. The crate challenge, perfect.
Oh God.
Perfect. I would love to see the amount of medical bills.
Oh God.
that accumulated during that challenge.
During a pandemic, that's the thing I didn't get. You're risking your health unnecessarily in the middle of a pandemic. So if you fall and break something, you are going to the hospital.
And then they can go, can't see you because we have COVID. There's COVID. You doing the damn crank challenge and falling and busting your ass is not priority. So, but hey, anything for your TikTok to go viral. Like, I just don't get me wrong, guys. I used to think I was going to be on Mickey Mouse Club, Kids Incorporated. Like, I auditioned for The Real World, but I was too young. Like, all this stuff. I definitely loved that and wanted to be in that. But I have a line that I drew as to far of what my level of humiliation was going to be. There's no level of humiliation now. There's no level of humiliation to the amount of money. There's no ratio. People just do it. It's just the amount of money. So
the bar's low.
Yeah, very. They would lose in that limbo contest. Let's just say that.
Step over that.
All right. So from there, getting back to the show, we now see Huey and Riley quickly approaching the compound, being sneaky. They get past the guard and sneak their way inside. Along the way, they come across the woman in the crew who's been around for 10 years and doesn't see her children anymore. Tells that Robert is on stage at rehearsal. As they make it to the stage, let's see. Sorry. As they make it to the stage, they see that Robert and Jerome are about to kiss. They leap up and break it up, starting a fight with Jerome's shirtless men. But because they're all oiled up, they can't get the better of them and get kicked off the stage. Jerome laughs at them, cajoling them for thinking they could just take Robert back. Jerome commands Robert to get rid of them. Robert throws the boys out the door. Huey tells Granddad to wake up, slapping him, that he's in a cult. And Huey tells him Huey tells him that he's been indoctrinated into a homoerotic Christian theater cult. Robert says that he knows that he is, and if it gets him into Hollywood, who cares? He doesn't want to just be normal, and he's running out of time. He tells the boys to go home, that he's got $200 in quarters stashed away. That should hold him until he gets back home. The boys acquiesce and leave. 2 weeks later, it's opening night of the play. The play goes off without a hitch and has everyone in uproar over the big kiss. Later, we catch Robert getting dressed and awaiting his big prize of groupies. He steps out the door only to be accosted by a large woman who leaps at him, pinning him to the ground. Just then, Jerome's assistant comes up, stepping over Robert and telling him that Jerome wants to see him alone. And this is the part where you were talking about he can see up her skirt. So from there, Robert enters Winston's office. Winston congratulates him for being so great. Robert, however, is disappointed.
Don't give me that bullshit. This is the big prize? Where are the Alicia Keyses? Where are the Beyoncés? Where's Wonder Woman? All I see is Florida Evanses. I can get a big bitch on my own. I had to kiss you on stage in front of everybody, and all I get is them mud ducks out there?
Yeah.
Florida Evanses.
Florida Evanses. You know what? And Florida was an amazing woman. So fuck you, Robert.
Right?
Damn.
But wait, the best thing was that she was riding home with them. So
Yeah, she was.
he took it. He took it. He took what he could get, so
Yeah.
beggars can't be choosers.
From there, Jerome says that Jesus never said that the woman would happen overnight. He tells Robert that he's just sold the play as a movie and that he wants Robert as his leading man as long as Robert gives him some ass. Robert finally realizes that was Jerome's plan all along and tells him to stick it up his ass. No homo. And by the way, at that part, Jerome's accent completely changes. He is code switched back to home.
Yeah. Can I just say, man, can I get some ass? Like he took it all the way back to
I was gonna be straight with you. Well, not straight, but
right.
So after Robert leaves, he hops in Dorothy, and in the car is the woman who jumped him, along with the boys. Riley is watching the recording of the play because, when Riley was there, he was filming the play, and he keeps rewinding it and teasing Granddad and saying, "Pause, Granddad." And Granddad is just pissed.
Pause, Granddad.
Pause, Granddad. Pause, Granddad. Yeah. So that and that's how the story ends. The story of Pause. So
I thought it was. I don't know what it is about y'all's show and the timing of it. Like I think it was the first season. It came out like when what was the R. Kelly documentary?
Surviving R. Kelly.
Surviving R. Kelly. Thank you. And like the timing of this show has been like perfect. Like this week was National Coming Out Day, and then we're talking about Pause and No Homo and all that stuff. I just find it fascinating how this show had not only the Boondocks but the Boondocks podcast has been like perfectly timed to coincide with all these things. It's just I just find that fascinating. I just wanted to share that.
I believe because it's divinely planned and purposed. The universe knows it. It's time for us to come out here and talk about some shit.
Yeah, I mean, I know I didn't plan it, so I just line them up, and it just happens to fall that way. I think the Aaron Magruder is a magician of some sort behind the scenes.
Yeah, totally.
So that's that's the whole story. So it's kind of it's still part of the the grand scheme of things, but it's kind of like its own self-contained little thing. This episode, which kind of doesn't really have a thread throughout the rest of the story of everybody else necessarily. Just to show that Riley says everything is gay, and Granddad has hopes of young bouncy. What I can't remember what he said.
Tatas with the. I love that he wanted Linda
Jerome
Carter.
said, yeah, he said, you also love the Tatas.
Yeah. I love that part of his thing with Linda Carter, Wonder Woman.
Yeah,
I really
Linda
love that. I was like,
Carter.
that is the most random shit ever. But
there was some because he was when he was originally talking to him, he was when he was talking to Tom. He was talking about the because Tom had asked him who the leading lady was, right? And he said some names, and there was one that I was not familiar with. I'm trying to find that transcript here. So yeah. I'll find it here. Oh, it might help if I could type. Come on. Stop it. Stupid thing. I don't know why this is being a pain in the ass, but oh gosh, I wish I could remember who the hell it was. A second. What's June? Yeah, the whole Ice Cube thing cracked me up too.
Yeah, I don't know what his beef with Ice Cube.
So Tom is like, who's the leading lady? And they said, they haven't cast her yet. And it said probably Sanaa Lathan. That name I didn't know. And then he said, or maybe Halle Berry.
Love and Basketball.
Okay.
Yeah.
She was married to Omar Epps. But yeah.
Okay. Right on. Yeah, because I had not heard that name or didn't recognize it.
Sanaa Lathan. She's fire. I know she wanted me, and I was almost like, I may want to play basketball. Then I was like, But yeah. I was like, Omar Epps is in the picture. But that was great. One of the best movies ever.
I've watched the first half of it. We had to stop because something else was going on. So I've never gotten back around to watching the second half.
Oh, you got to watch.
I loved that movie.
Right? Oh my God, so good. I could watch it right this second. That and The Wood. Another great movie.
Yes.
I did like The Wood. That was good. I haven't seen Love and Basketball yet.
Let me bring up some of the trivia. Oh, what? What was that, Lynxi?
Oh no, Damon said he hasn't seen Love and Basketball either.
Oh.
I'm like, what are you guys doing? I don't even watch movies, and I've seen this stuff over and over and over.
I've got a nice little list developing now.
Yes, we can get you on that. That is a travesty.
All right, so I'm gonna bring up some of the trivia here for the show. So pause is a phrase used in the whoever wrote this. I mean, I just basically copied and pasted, but it says pause is a phrase used in the urban community to express an air of awkwardness after a pseudo homosexual statement is uttered. This is commonly followed by the phrase "no homo." As I stated before, Uncle Ruckus does not appear in this episode. This episode, along with the story of Jimmy Rebel, had been banned from Adult Swim and Hulu. The episode returned airing on May 29th, 2020 on Adult Swim and on HBO Max. When the episode first aired on Adult Swim, it was rated TV-MA, but when it was re-aired starting May 29th, 2020, it was re-rated TV-MA-LS. The reason behind this is currently unknown. At least that's what this is here. Let's see, cultural references. So the character Winston Jerome is mentioned, parody of playwright filmmaker Tyler Perry. So we already know this. The episode parodies Rocky Horror Picture Show and the song Street Turns Outside Time Warp. When Granddad recalls his acting career, a flashback of him auditioning for In the Heat of the Night. Called me Mr. Pibb. Or Mr. Ribs. And Enter the Dragon. No, Mr. Handyman. And then Rocky 3, where he was supposed to be Mr. T there. So yeah, the brown skinned bald dude from Law and Order is a reference to Steve Harris, who plays one of the antagonists in the film production of Diary of a Mad Black Woman. The blonde hair, overweight black woman, a parody of Cassie Davis, an actress that is frequently cast in Tyler Perry's theatrical productions, as well as television series Tyler Perry's House of Pain, seen throughout the episode in a zombie-like trance, states on 2 occasions that she's going to get some Kool-Aid. This is a reference to the mass suicide executed by 909 members of the People's Temple Church, led by Jim Jones. They all died consuming cyanide-laced, grape-flavored Kool-Aid. The term drinking Kool-Aid originates from this incident. So that's what I've got for that.
Love it.
So, they say, Winston Jerome was voiced by Affion Crockett. Kadeem Hardison was himself. Lotion Man was Gary Anthony Williams, who also voices Uncle Ruckus. And Jerome's assistant was voiced by Jill Talley, who plays Sarah Dubois also.
I love the trivia. There should be a Boondocks game. You should make it.
That would be fun. I would like you. I wonder if we could do that.
Yes, we could.
Yeah.
Actually, no, like no joke. There is a Hillman the board game, and I've actually talked to the lady who made it.
Yeah.
And during our interview, she had talked about wanting to do other pivotal Black shows, and we had talked about Where's My Mama and Martin and Fresh Prince, and Boondocks didn't come up at the time. I just didn't. It never came across. Just never came up. Like she would be perfectly suited to do that. Like,
right on.
Well, I tried to get hers, and hers was sold out. So the one that I played, I don't know if you saw the episode where I challenged, because I'm doing a challenge game night, and I challenged Big Kurt from the Smoking Section podcast, and we did a Martin game, and goddamn, I was giving all props to the creator, and by the end of the game, which I lost 1-0, which doesn't mean that he did that great because it was 10 questions. This was hard. I was like, what Martin were you watching? Like, she came up with questions and I was like, nobody would think of this, but it was great. Okay, hubby's making a face. He knew like 2 of the other ones, but it was these questions, like, and we had people watching, they were like, where the hell are these questions from?
One of the questions was, who was Shanae's date on Love Connection?
I don't know.
It was a comedian. I kept thinking of one person, but it was somebody else.
Jamie Foxx.
Chris Rock.
Who?
It was Chris Rock.
I said Jamie
Chris Rock.
Foxx too.
No, you didn't. You said the other one.
I said I was thinking of Tommy Davidson, but he played the other one. I said Jamie Foxx.
Well, see, because when you said Shanae, I also think about Jamie Foxx when he was in Living Color, and he played
Wanda.
Yes.
Wanda, yeah.
So that I kind of I put those two together. So I figured it would be funny if Jamie Foxx was the date.
Yeah. Well, it was great. If you guys haven't seen that episode, go watch. We were nice and lit, and we had a good time.
Yeah, I haven't watched Martin since it was originally on.
Yeah, I was like, I need to go back and watch it again because I was like, what is going on here?
What's it on?
It is on, Martin's on Amazon.
Okay.
Yeah. I think it's Amazon Prime right now.
Right on. Okay.
Yeah. Well, yeah. So now that it's like the next day for Damon, I guess we shall let Cousin go ahead.
Well, yeah. Y'all have anything else? Anything else you want to? This will come out for our Patreon members, all 2 of them, soon.
Hey, appreciate it.
Yeah,
you guys get the word. Let's get that 2 to 4.
But if you guys want to tune in to Disputed on Thursday, we'll be doing our Spike from Buffy the Vampire Slayer versus Cassidy from Preacher. So that should be a fun one. And yeah,
I would go for Spike because I have no idea who the other one is. But
Cassidy. Oh man, Preacher is such a good show. And I think you could watch that on it's on Hulu. Yeah,
it's on Hulu
because it's part of AMC. So, but yeah,
Spike
if you like the boys,
love the boys.
Preacher, this Preacher comic was written by the same guy, Garth Ennis.
Okay. So did you know that the lead, I'm not like being like dismissive, but that just made me think. The guy from The Boys is in the new Scream. Quaid, yeah. The son of Meg Ryan and
yeah. Right on.
And it's I don't know why I want to call her Monica. I know her real name. Courtney Cox.
Pause.
And pause. It said pause. Courtney Cox.
No homo.
Steve Campbell. And
Nev
Campbell.
Nev.
Nev. One of the two, whatever. Not the one that's on Catfish, but the other one.
That's neat.
Yes. Nev Campbell, sorry. And Arquette.
Yeah.
They're all back. But it's
Yeah.
a whole new like group of friends, and he's one of them. But yeah, I'm actually excited because I don't do scary movies. And then somebody told me that the other night, and I was like, oh, new Scream, we'll be watching that. Yeah, that is my kind of scary movie. Anything about these like Saws and It's and all this other shit coming out? No.
I do want to see the new Halloween movie because Jamie Lee Curtis and Michael Myers. I mean, come on.
Yeah, I can do those. Those aren't bad.
You know, what else I'm looking forward to is Rob Zombie doing The Munsters.
Oh wow.
Yeah, and he's built the
That's gonna
house
be
and
crazy.
everything. The house looks fucking amazing.
That's gonna be nuts. Are you serious? Wow.
Yeah, and he's got
From the mind of Rob
Dracula
Zombie.
and everything. Yeah,
Yeah.
so yeah.
Interesting.
That is interesting. You took the words right out of my mouth.
Yeah.
Wow.
Rob Zombie's
wow.
a fan. I mean, he's a huge
Yeah.
fan. So yeah,
I like the Munsters though. That's pretty good.
it should be interesting. I'm kind of curious who they're casting for everything.
Yeah.
I think
I know the
I
new
wouldn't be.
Addams Family. Another cartoon.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if Lily was played by his wife, though.
Right.
Yeah, because I mean, anytime he puts a movie together, Sherry Moon Zombie is in that movie. So-
Right. He's like, I'm gonna make a movie just for you, sweetie. Just
Yep.
for you.
And that's what I would do. I'm like, nepotism is real, people.
Hell yeah.
I'd have all my friends, family.
Man.
cousins.
I mean,
Like,
she
you look like
Real
one
niche street.
that piece.
she played
Yeah.
a great
I mean,
serial
look like,
killer.
look at like Seth Rogen and like all of them. Like they don't do nepotism, but they keep the same people in the same.
yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like that's what I would do, especially if they produce that. Like they're good workers and the money's there. Guess what? Another movie.
Yep.
Round two.
Seth Rogen, Evan Goldberg. That they did Preacher. They did The Boys. They got they did Future Man. Yeah. So and I think they also did The End of the World or what when the whole
Yes.
the sinkhole.
That
Yeah.
one was hilarious with Kevin Hart. Like they had everybody in it.
Yep.
That was a good movie. Damn, I think I've only watched that once. That's another movie I want to watch again. That shit was funny. But like I could watch Superbad, like any Seth Rogen movie, I can definitely watch.
I love Seth Rogen. I mean,
Yeah,
he seems like he's a pretty good guy, even in
I
real
totally
life.
want to smoke weed with him. But yeah, like greatest thing ever.
Yeah.
He seems like he would just blow all day and then like feed you and then like you do some ceramics together and then it'd be time to smoke again. It'd be like the greatest day ever. Curtains moving back there. You know
Yeah.
how it goes.
Oh, thank you.
Hello.
TR has
Hi.
delivered my edibles.
Hi, honey. But she's like, get off. It's time to drug you. It's time to go to bed.
Yeah,
Well,
it is
good
time,
night,
and it's already it's already tomorrow for
Yeah.
Damon. So and he's got to get prepped for Thursday. So
Yeah. Just like when cousins couldn't stay over, you're up all night until your mama goes, go to bed. So that was T coming in
there you go.
and giving you your that's like the Triminic. She gave everybody Triminic and she was like, I go to bed.
Benadryl. Yeah. God, I hadn't heard Triminic in fucking forever.
Oh, my mom used to be like, go get some Triminic. Like we used to keep it in the refrigerator. Like that's so bad.
Well, yeah,
But I
well,
know
no,
my
I
other
mean
buddies
that's
always
yeah.
be like, they
Oh
got
no,
Triminic.
I mean yeah, because Benadryl. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Especially if like friends were coming over, if it was a holiday, they're like, if you don't go take your, unless they wanted you to dance for them or something. But other than that, it was like, you better get some Triminic Benadryl and then go, you can watch TV in my room tonight. You know, then the next thing you know is the next day and you missed out on all the fun. But hey, maybe that's what, no, never mind. I was going to say, maybe I should have some Triminic in my refrigerator for my son because he literally thinks, I asked him, I said, what do you think happens when you go to bed? And he goes, you guys have a party? I said, every night? Every night? You think that we just have a party when you go to bed?
Every damn night.
Every night. I wish. Son, I wish.
We have party hats and everything.
Everything.
And you're not
You don't hear all the
invited.
noise? Yeah. So funny.
All right. Anything else before we button this up?
Mm-mm.
Nothing. All right.
I'm all good.
Next
Eh.
episode is epic.
Yes, it is. I can't. And I'm all about the booty warrior. So
I was gonna say, is this the Booty Warrior?
I likes you.
Handsome.
I wants you. That's gonna be a good one. Do this the easy way or the hard way.
Right?
Chris Handsome.
Mhm.
Anyway, all right. So we'll see everybody next week. We love you all. Goodbye.
Love ya.
Don't take this the wrong way, but I need you to get the hell up out of here.
Thanks for joining us again as we make our way through the trials and tribulations of the Freeman family. We hope to see you back again next time for A Date with the Booty Warrior.
Want to know where to find us on the social medias or where to subscribe to the podcast? Just head right over to www.theboondockspod.com/links.
Have a stupid white people question you want to leave us? Email us at host@theboondockspod.com or leave us a voicemail at 760-933-8636. That's 760-we-3-UNDO.
Shout out to the artists who've created our intro and outro tunes. Our intro is #Make a Change by KIRK. You can find them on Spotify, iTunes, and Tidal. Our outro is Good Times by Audio Binger. You can find them on freemusicarchive.org and YouTube.